Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing part 2 of our video series using Red Heart's Button Bottle Cozy. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So you guys, we are going to continue where we left off. If you want to do this pattern, the free download can be found in the link in the description box below. And Red Heart is a company that sells yarn. I've been buying their yarn for so many years, and they tell you what you need. If you haven't seen part 1, definitely check that out, because obviously we started off making the cuff portion of this button bottle cozy, or aka Christmas sweater, we're going to be making for wine bottles. Wine bottles are such an easy gift to give anyone, especially when you're coming over to have dinners or whatever. It's always kind of typical to bring in a drink, so what better way to gift wrap it than making your own sweater for your bottle? Super cute, super festive. You can change up the colors all the time, so you can make this for any occasion. Change up the yarn colors for it to be even Halloween, Valentine's Day, a birthday, any day of drinking day. So yeah. Yesterday we started off the cuff. On the top here it shows you how to do some of these abbreviated stitches that we'll get to today actually. Part 1 we did the cuff. It was 4 rows. It was fairly simple. Today for the body there's like 30 plus rows, so this is going to be broken down in a couple of parts because I can only fit like a 2-hour video or less than 2-hour video in my editing program, but hopefully we get to breeze through this. So again, we're doing the body today. You're gonna need your 2 needles. The instructions ask for a number 7 or 4.5 millimeter needle, so I have them here. And then you're also going to need a number 7 or 4.5 millimeter cable needle, and it has 2 pointy ends, so you can slip them in and out of your stitches. And the regular knitting needle has a stopper. And just, I didn't tell you guys in the first video, but if you can buy a stopper or use like a rubber band or a hair tie to wrap around the end here, so if you do take breaks, your stitches won't slip off. Okay, so let's continue with the body. I'm going to grab some yarn here. You know how I like to grab a lot of yarn. This isn't even a lot. I just grabbed as much as I could for right now. And we're going to start row 1. Row 1 says that the right side. In the first video, we established that the side that has the excess yarn on the left is going to be the right side. And you can tell by how pretty it all is. I've been doing this for a while, so I can kind of tell which side has better stitching than the other. But if you looked in the reverse side, you may find that the stitches aren't as pretty as the front, so this is considered the wrong side. Right side with the excess yarn here. Wrong side is this back side here. Okay, so it says row 1 right side. We're going to do a slip stitch. So we're just going to get right into it. I'll try to do this step by step with you, and then places where it's repetitive, that's when I'll just, you know, kind of go with my flow. And you can slow down or speed up the video if you press the gear. I think it's on the top corner this side of the video screen. I think it's like playback, something speed, I don't know. If you click on that, you can change it to 0.5, 1.51. I don't know what the numbers are on there, but it goes either faster or slower. I'm just going to sound either like a chipmunk or like something else. Okay, row 1, slip 1 stitch to the right, get it off the left needle, and your yarn is in the front. Every time we do a slip, you want your yarn in the front. But now we're going to do a two knit stitches So we're going to put this yarn now in the back, like so. This, make sure that you don't lose a stitch here or here. And we're going to knit. We're going to go from front to back, yarn over from the front, well, from the back to the front. We're going to make sure that's locked in there, as you see here. Then we're going to pull the needle through that stitch and let go on the left needle. So we created one. We're going to do this again, front to back. Then we're going to yarn over, back to front, lock and load that. Then we're going to pull the needle through that stitch and then let it go on the left needle. So now we have two. So now we have this M1. Now you guys, I'm going to be honest with you, this M1 is very difficult. I have no idea how to figure this out. It says this: make one increase, lift strand between needles to left hand needle and knit strand through the back loop, twisting it to prevent a hole. Now, it just sounds very wordy. I have no idea what it's saying, but this is what I think it's saying. Now, lift the strand between the needles to the left needle. So this would be the strand between it. I know that there's two here, but this is my exception because this is supposed to be the buttonhole. And this is me trying to figure this out over the years. I'm going to put the needle under both of that, right, onto the left needle, like it said. Lift the strand between the needles to the left hand needle. And then we're just going to knit. So I'm going to take my right needle and we're going to do it like we're going to knit. So we're going to go forward to the back, and then we're going to yarn over back to front. Make sure that's locked and loaded. And then we're going to pull the needle through those strands, and then we're going to let go on the left hook. And we created that extra stitch that it wants, the increased stitch, but we also kept that nice buttonhole that we're going to have. Okay. So going back here to our body, row 1, we have the knit 2, we have the M1, and we have to repeat from star. So in my part 1 video, we said the asterisks or whatever's inside the asterisks, you repeat over and over again until the last 3 stitches. Okay, so let's continue doing the knit 2 M1 over and over again until we get to the last 3 stitches. So again, we're going to knit 2, and then we're going to do the M1. See here, this is the strand between the left and the right needles. We're going to lift it and put it on the left needle. Then we're just going to go ahead and act like this is a knit stitch. So front to back, and then back to front, lock and load that. Pull it through the strand and let go on the left hook. So now we have that extra stitch there. So now we're going to go back to knit 2, front to back, back to front, locked and loaded, pull through that stitch and let go on that needle. Again, front to back, back to front, locked and loaded, and it makes a little snap. You heard that? Like, especially when you keep your needles crossed close together, when you go back to front, you're going to hear snap, and then you're going to pull that needle through that stitch and then let go on the left needle. And now we have to do our M1. So you lift the strand, and we're just going to do a knit stitch. I didn't do all that other hoopla with the twisting, like it said, like, I don't know. Leave a comment below if you can understand this, but lift strand between needles to left hand needle and knit strand through the back loop, twisting it to prevent a hole. I mean, that was just, yeah, no. See, and you can see the hole. I guess that's the hole they're trying to prevent. But listen, people, I can't figure it out. We're just going to move ahead. You know, maybe someday we'll figure it out. But in the grand scheme of things, I think you're not going to even notice it. So let's knit 2. 1, 2. And then we're going to M1. Lift the strand. Do the knit. Let go on the left needle. Now we go back to knitting. 1, 2. Let's do the M1. Okay, knit 2. 1, 2. M1. Knit 2. 1, 2. And we're going to do the M1. Then we're going to do knit 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to do the M1. Then we're going to do the knit 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. Then we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. Then we're going to knit 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. Then we're going to knit 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. Then we're going to knit 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. Then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. Try to get this in here. Then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. Then we're going to knit 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. Then we're going to knit 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. And we're going to knit 1, 2. Then we're going to M1. Then we're going to knit 1, 2, 3. And I know I jumped ahead there, but like with every row that we were doing. So row 1 we did the knit 2, M1, we repeated the last 3 stitches, and then it says knit 3 stitches, which is what I did last. And now, just to make sure that we have all our stitches, I'm going to make a count 58, and hopefully it's right. 3, 5, 3, 10, 3, 15, 3, 20, 3, 25, 30, 40, 5. Y'all saw that, right? All right, I just screwed myself up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 58. Yay! It's actually, I wanted to get this done earlier, but it just didn't happen. So it's actually 10:33 p.m. and I'm tired. So hopefully I can, you know, at least get through to the next hour and a half maybe, so that I can edit this and then post it. Okay, so row 2. We did the right side. This is the wrong side because on the left here there's no excess yarn. It's on this side. And you know, like we ended up this way. You just have to flip it over so that you have the stitches back onto the left needle. In case you missed that from the first video. So row 2, we have to slip 1 and we're gonna have the yarn in the front like we always do when we slip. And then we're gonna put the yarn to the back so we don't lose that stitch. Now we're gonna knit 2. 1, 2. Okay, now in brackets, and I'll explain what they are when we get there, but we're gonna purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2 4 times. So whatever's in this bracket, we're repeating 4 times. So because this is a purl now, so we have our slip 1, we have our knit 2, we're going to bring the yarn to the front. Now I'm going to purl 2. Oh, and have we done those yet? No, we haven't, so let me teach you. Okay, so for purls we had our yarn. Okay, so we had this in the back, right, before we started all this hoopla. For purls, like the slip stitch, we have to have the yarn in the front. Okay. Then we have to do, we have to go in from the back to the front this time. Before we do front to the back, this time we're doing back to the front. And we're going to yarn over from the front to the back. And then we're going to pull it through the stitch and let go on the left needle. So we have our first purl stitch. Let's do that again, because we have to do 2. So we go from back to the front, we do a yarn over front to the back, then we pull through that stitch and let go on the left needle. So now we have 2. 1, 2. But now we have to do knit 2. So let's put our yarn back here, and then we're just going to knit 2. So 1, 2. So now we have to purl 6. So you guys, we take the yarn, we put it back into the front again, and then we do 6 of these from back to the front, yarn over front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle. That's 1. Let's do 5 more. Back to the front. If you can't see that, front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle. 2. Back to the front, front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle. 3. Back to the front, front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle. 4. We have 2 more. Back to the front, front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle. 5. We have 1 more. Back to the front, front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle. So after that, we have to knit 2. So pull your yarn to the back here. Now just to make sure that we have 6 stitches, you notice that here are the 2 knits. It looks like it's coming through the braid. And then these 6 stitches, they have that hump in front of it. So look side by side the differences. This is the purl with the hump in the front. This is the knit with the braid, that V. So you can tell what stitch this was. So these 6 stitches has the hump in the front, so that's purl. And these 2 that have the V, that's knit. Just to make sure that you're doing your stitches right. So we'll do 2 knit stitches, 1, 2. And believe it or not, that whole thing was just 1 bracket. So we're going to repeat this 3 more times. Purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2, and then we're going to do 2 more times. Okay. And so on and so forth. So we ended with the knit. We have to go back to purl, put the yarn in the front, back to front, front to back, pull through the stitch and let go of the needle, back to the front, front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle. Then we got to do knit 2, put your yarn towards the back now. We're going to do front to the back to the front, locked and loaded, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle, front to the back to the front, locked and loaded, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle. So now we're going to purl 6 times, so we're going to put the yarn in the front now. And we're going to do 6, back to the front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle, back to the front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle, back to the front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle, front to the back, back to the front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle, back to the front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle, 1 more, back to the front to the back, pull through the stitch, let go on the needle. Becomes a rhythm. You can make a song out of it. Okay, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, and then we got to repeat it 2 more times, like I said, and so forth. So I'm going to do this a little quicker. I'm just going to call out the stitches. So I'm going to bring the yarn to the front, and we're going to do this thing. Purl 2, 1, 2, knit 2, 1, 2, purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we're going to repeat this 1 more time. Let me grab some yarn here, that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Okay, so now the next steps are purl 2, knit 5. Let's bring the yarn to the front, purl 2, 1, 2, now yarn to the back, and we're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Working out perfectly. So I just want to show you guys, this is going to be the right side. I just flipped it over now. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, so for row 3, this is where the magic begins, because we're going to finally use that cable needle. And we're going to start doing our cable stitch. So I'm just gathering yarn here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a slip stitch, like so. Put the yarn towards the back. Now we have to do knit 2, purl 2. So let's knit 2, 1, 2. Bring the yarn to the front. We're going to purl 2, 1, 2. So in these brackets we have knit 2, purl 2, 3/3 LC P2. When we get to that 3 3, I'm going to show you what that is, so don't worry about that, but we have to repeat this whole bracket 4 times. So let's start off by doing the knit. Put your yarn in the back, knit 2. Oh dear, I'm losing the stitch. Try not to lose your stitches. And we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to purl 2, yarn to the front, 1, 2. Now we're going to put the yarn to the back, and we're going to do this 3 3 LC. Scroll up here and I'll show you. It's right here under special stitches, like the M1 was. Okay, it means 3 over 3 left cross. So we're going to do slip next 3 stitches to the cable needle and hold in front. We're going to knit 3, then knit 3 from the cable needle. That one's wordy too, but that's more understandable than M1. So I'll show you what I mean. So you have your cable needle here. I'm going to lay this like an A. Right? We're going to slide down that point. We're going to, from the back part of the loop, we're going to slip 1. You see what I did there? I went from the back. Here's the loop, here's the front part, this is the back part. I want to stick that in there. It's because we're just, as you see, we're just taking the place of this needle. So slip that first stitch, take it off the left needle. Now we got to do that to the 2 other stitches. We're going to do it again with slow-mo. See, in between there, through the back. Pull it off. One more time. Slip it through the back there. Pull it off. Now, just so you don't lose it, make sure that you put those stitches in the middle of this cable needle, and we're going to keep it in front. Keeping it at front means it's in front of these 2 needles. If it said put it in the back, you would do this. And that's how it's in the back. But that's not what it's saying. It's saying the front. So let's undo that so that you can just tell the difference. And we're going to move on, because we have to do 3 knit stitches, which means we got the 3 on the left needle here. You can move this out of the way with your thumb or something, but let's put this needle front to back because these are knit stitches. So you're going to do it like you would normally do it. I think it's a little harder with 3 needles, but you're going to do it like you normally do it, or how we did it before. Front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that. You heard that snap? Then we're going to pull that needle through the stitch, and then we're going to let go on that needle. We're going to do it 2 more times. Front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch, remove off that left needle 1 more time, front to back, back to front, lock and load that, pull through that stitch, let go on the needle. So we have our 3. Slide these stitches all the way towards the stopper so that they don't slip off while you just let it go. You can let it go. We're going to pick up the cable needle, and now we're going to do the same thing we did with the left needle. We're going to knit these 3. So front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load it, pull it through the stitch, let go on that cable needle. Then we're going to do this again, front to back. We're going to yarn over, back to front, lock and load it, pull it through the stitch, let go on the cable needle 1 more time, front to back, yarn over, back to front, locked and loaded, pull it through the stitch, let go of the needle, and ta-da, needle's free. And we just created, I'm just going to line this up like this. We just created that at the beginning of the cable. It's going to go like this, right? Weave in and out. We just did that. Congrats. Okay. So, in the instructions, it says to knit 2, purl 2, 3/3 LC, purl 2. We're going to repeat this 4 times, you guys. So you just gotta keep in mind what you're doing when you're doing it. So we have our yarn to the back. We're gonna knit 2. We got 1, 2. Then we're gonna purl 2, yarn to the front. Did I? Oh shoot. Okay. No, you guys. I did the 3 and 3, but I didn't finish the purl 2. So let's take that back. I'll show you how to do that. We did that knit 2. We have to undo it because we have to purl 2. Sorry. Okay. So what you do is, you can see that V. You want to stick your needle into that V, right? And then you just pull this stitch off the needle. Pull it off, and then you pull the excess out, and that stitch is gone like it never happened. But do that 1 more time, you guys. See that V opening there? Put the needle in there. No, don't accidentally put it through the stitch that you just made, because that's not going to do anything. You have to put it where that new stitch went through. You can kind of see where it went through. Put your needle through there. Remove that stitch off the needle and pull all the way out. So sorry, you guys. This is where we did the 3/3 LC. We have to do the P2 now. So we're going to put the yarn front to the front. See, after that cable that we just made. Then we're going to purl 2. 1, 2. Now, we got to repeat this 3 more times. So we're going to put the yarn to the back because we have to knit 2. 1, 2. Then we have to purl 2, yarn to the front. 1, 2. Then we got that 3 and 3. So I'm going to grab my cable needle again, lay it like an A, put that tip close to the stitch here. You might have to move these, scooch up the stitches so you can easily remove it off the needle, off the hook, off the needle. I'm getting my crochet and knitting crisscrossed. Okay, so like I said, go inside this thing here, we're coming in from that back, because we're basically just replacing this needle for this needle. Slip that off the needle, the left needle, and we're going to do that 2 more times. 1 more, 2. So now we have 3. Make sure you keep it in the front of these 2 needles and slide it to the middle so that the stitches don't come out. So now we have to do the 3 knit stitches. You can hold this down with your thumb. Just stick the needle from front to back, and we're going to do this like we're doing a regular knit stitch. And mind you, when you do this, you guys, it's going to feel, because we're tugging and pulling, it's gonna feel like tight to put this in there, but I'm gonna let it go, the cable needle go, so it gives me some slack, and then it's easier to get through. So you have to kind of do a balance. When you get comfortable, you can let it go, otherwise try to hold it, but it is going to cause tension, so it's really hard to fit 2 needles while you're pulling tension on that yarn. So we did front to back like a knit stitch. We're going to do back to the front, yarning over. We're going to lock and load that, pull it through the stitch, and then take it off the left needle 2 more times. 1, 2. Then we're going to grab our cable needle, and we're going to do another 3 knit stitches. 1, 2, 1 more, 3. Put down the cable needle. So now we can go back. After that 3/3 LC, we have to do purl 2. So we're going to yarn to the front, and we're going to do our purl 2. This is the part that I forgot last time. 1, 2, and then we can repeat this bracket 2 more times. Okay, so now we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. We're going to purl 2. 1, 2. Yarn to the back. We're going to slip the 3 stitches onto the cable stitch needle, or cable needle, I don't know. Then we're going to knit 3 on the left needle. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to knit 3 off the cable needle. 1, 2, 3. Then we have to put the yarn to the front. We're going to purl 2. 1, 2. Then we can repeat this bracket 1 more time. So we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. We're going to purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to put our stitches onto the cable needle. 1, 2, 3. Make sure it's in front and make sure it's in the middle. We're now going to knit three off of the left needle. 1, 2, 3. Slide those stitches. Now we're going to knit the 3 off of the cable needle. 1, 2, 3. Then we have to purl 2. Okay, and then it says to knit 5 times. So we're going to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're going to flip this over. This is the wrong side, you guys, so maybe you can tell this is the wrong side. This is the right side. You can kind of tell because you can see the cabling. But when you flip it over, the wrong side, you can't really see it anymore. Okay, so now we did row 3. We're going to do row 4, and it's basically repeating row 2. So let me gather some yarn here. This is me trying to gather. And this is nothing. Sometimes I have a big wad of yarn around this finger. I just hate having to keep grabbing more yarn. Okay. So row 4. We're going to do repeating row 2. We do a slip stitch. Yarn's in the front. Then we put the yarn to the back. And then we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. Then we have brackets. We've got purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2. And we have to repeat it 4 times. So yarn to the front. Let's start our purl 2. 1, 2. Yarn to the back. Knit 2. 1, 2. Then yarn to the front, purl 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have to knit 2. 1, 2, and then we have to repeat this 3 more times. Purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to knit 2, 1, 2, And then we're going to repeat this 2 more times. Purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then knit 2, 1, 2, and then we have to repeat this 1 more time, I think. Losing count already. Okay, so put this in the front. We got a purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to purl 2 and knit 5. So we're going to purl 2, and then we're going to knit 5. 1, 2, oops, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to flip this over, and this is the right side because we have that little excess piece here, and this is what it's looking like so far. You can kind of tell this is going to be cable, rib, cable, rib, cable, rib, cable, rib. Okay, so next we are going to be doing row 5, and that one is hold on, I gotta raise my chair. Okay, we're gonna do row 5, and that's a slip stitch. Let me get some yarn here. So this is coming along, you guys. We're already in row 5, so 5 down almost. 25 to go. All right. Yarn to the front. We're going to take our right needle and slip that stitch from back to the front, and we're going to slip it off that left needle. Okay, then we have to knit 2, so I'm going to put that yarn to the back, secure that knit, that slip knit that we did just then. Then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then I'm going to purl 2, yarn to the front, 1, 2, then in brackets we have knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, purl 2, repeat 4 times. So we're basically doing the opposite of what row 2 was. So it's knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, purl 2, 4 times. So yarn to the back, we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, yarn to the front, we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, yarn to the back, we're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to purl 2, yarn to the front, 1, 2. Now we have to repeat that 3 more times. So yarn to the back, knit 2, 1, 2, yarn to the front, purl 2 times, 1, 2, yarn to the back, we're going to knit 6 times, 1, 2, I'm going to take that back because you can see I kind of messed up there. I split the yarn. So let's just redo that. I don't really know where I left off. Okay, so slip 1, knit 2, purl 2, then we have knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, 3, 6, we have purl 2, then we have knit 2, purl 2, knit 6. Okay, 4 more, 1, 2, 3, oh, I did it again, 3, 4, and total of 6, and we have to purl 2, yarn to the front, 1, 2, so now we have to repeat this 2 more times, yarn to the back, knit 2, 1, 2, yarn to the front, purl 2, 1, 2, yarn to the back, oh, knit 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, purl 2, yarn to the front, 1, 2, then we have to repeat 1 more time, so yarn to the back, knit 2, yarn to the front, purl 2, 1, 2, yarn to the back, knit 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yarn to the front, purl 2 times, 1, 2, yarn to the back, knit 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, This is coming along. So now for rows 6 and 7, we have to repeat 4 and 5. This is where I always get mixed up. Try not to lose your place. It gets confusing when you have to do rows 6 and 7, but then it's technically 4 and 5, you know? And then in this case, rows 4 and 5 is actually row 2. It's a lazy way of doing it, but that's how they do it sometimes. So, row 2 is slip 1, knit 2. We have in brackets purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2 4 times, purl 2, knit 5. So we're going to do all that. Okay, so slip stitch, yarn to the back, knit 2, 1, 2, then in brackets purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2. So purl 2, yarn to the back, knit 2, yarn to the front, purl 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yarn to the back, knit 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to repeat this 3 more times. So yarn to the front, purl 2, 1, 2, yarn to the back, knit 2, 1, 2, yarn to the front, purl 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yarn to the back, knit 2 times, 1, 2, then we're going to repeat this 2 more times, yarn to the front, purl 2, 1, 2, yarn to the back, knit 2, 1, 2, yarn to the front, purl 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to knit 2, yarn to the back, 1, 2, then we're going to repeat this 1 more time. So yarn to the front, we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, yarn to the back, we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, yarn to the front, we're going to purl 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yarn to the back, we're going to knit 2 times, 1, 2, now we're going to purl 2 times, yarn to the front, 1, 2, and then we're going to knit 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's flip this over. Just to show you though, this is the wrong side, and look, it looks horrible, doesn't it? But then when you flip it on this side, ooh, looks a lot better. Let me get some yarn here. We're gonna do row 7, and it's pretty much repeating row 5, so we'll do that. Make sure I got my yarn here. We're gonna roll it, keep rolling it. How are you guys doing? We're an hour in. We should have 6 rows completed. Well, plus the 4 that we did in part 1, so 10 rows completed. Okay, let's do this thing. So row 7, we're repeating row 5. Let's do our slip stitch. Yarn to the back. We're going to do our knit 2. 1, 2. We're going to do our purl 2, yarn to the front. 1, 2, and then in brackets we're going to repeat 4 times. So let's do knit 2, purl 2, we're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to repeat this 3 more times. So knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to repeat this 2 more times. So we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. We're going to purl 2, 1, 2. We're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to repeat 1 more time. Knit 2, 1, 2. We're going to purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to purl 2, then we have to knit 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now for row 8, we have to repeat row 4. Let's Move this up because of the glare. Repeat row 4. And repeating row 4 is repeating row 2. So we have to go back to row 2 and do all that. Like how they reference rows that reference rows. It's crazy. Okay, row 2, slip stitch. Slip it. Put the yarn back. We're going to do knit 2. 1, 2. Okay. Then we're going to do the brackets. That's purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2. So let's purl 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to purl 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. Okay, then we have to repeat this 3 more times. Purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have to knit 2. 1, 2, and then we just have to repeat this 2 more times. This yarn, I'm trying to slip it down my finger. There you go. Okay, where was I? Purl 2. 1, 2, knit 2. 1, 2, purl 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to knit 2. Then we're going to repeat this 1 more time. Purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2, and we're going to purl 2, and then we're going to knit 5. Okay, so let's just check out what we have here. It's coming along. You can see the rib, the cable, it's starting to flatten out. Rib, cable, flatten out, rib, cable, flattening out, rib, cable, and then rib. So now we have to do row 9, which is a buttonhole row. So we're going to make another buttonhole like we did, right here. So I'm going to do a slip stitch, yarn to the back. We're going to knit one. Oh, let me advance this because the glare, you guys, is getting to me. So we did the slip stitch, knit one. We're going to yarn over. Okay. Then we're going to knit 2 together. So you got your, here's 1 stitch, here's 2. I'm slipping it in the second one, front to back. And then we're going to do back to front. Get that locked and loaded. Pull through the stitch and let go on the left needle. So we got that done. Knit 2 together. We have to purl 1. So put your yarn in the front. And let's purl 1. And then now we have brackets, knit 2, purl 2, 3/3 LC, purl 2, 4 times. So let's do this nice and slow. We're going to make that cable stitch now. Yarn to the back. Let's knit 2 times. 1, 2. And we're going to yarn to the front. We're going to purl 2 times. 1, 2. Then yarn to the back. We're going to do our cable needle like we did before. Getting all discombobulated with my yarn here. Okay, let's see. So we're going to hold it like an A. We're going to use this end here, stick that from the back loop, oops, back loop right there. Okay, slip that off the needle 3 times. Keep the cable needle in the front and put those stitches in the middle. And let's knit 3 from the left needle. 1, 2, 3. I know it's getting a little claustrophobic here. Alright, then we're going to do the 3 off the cable needle. 1. And you're going to feel tension because we are stretching those stitches across. It's not a normal, comfortable feeling. Remove that cable stitch. And I want you to, I'm going to lay this like this. I want you to see what we just did here. The first one we did, we crossed over this side. Now we're grabbing this and we're crossing over that side. We are making that cable. Look at this, you guys. Now all you gotta do is make a sweater. I can't do that. It's a big project. Okay, so we did the 3/3 LC. Then we have to purl 2. So put the yarn in the front and let's purl 2. 1, 2. Okay, now we have to repeat this 3 more times. Let me grab some yarn here. So we have to repeat this 4 more times. We've got a knit, so let's knit 2. 1, 2, yarn to the front, purl 2, 1, 2, yarn to the back. Let's get our cable needle, slip those 3 stitches over, 2, 3, keep the needle in the front, move the stitches to the middle. Now we're going to knit 3 from that left needle there. 1, 2, 3, we're going to use our cable needle. Yikes. 1, 2, 3. Put down the cable needle. Then we have to purl 2, so put the yarn in the front and purl 2. 1, 2. Put the yarn to the back. We got to repeat this 2 more times. So knit 2, purl 2, and just to let you know, you guys, you can kind of tell what you have to do next, because these are the 6 knit stitches. We know we're going to be doing knit, and then the 2 after that, they've got that purl, that little hump in the front, so we got to do 2 purl, and then these two look like 2 knit. So you can kind of, after a while, get what you got to do next. So we're going to slip 3, 1, 2, 3, get those in the middle. Then we're going to knit 3 off that left. If I can get my life in order here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Then off the cable stitch, cable needle. 1, 2, 3. Put down your needle. We're gonna pull the yarn forward and knit, and we're gonna purl 2. 1, 2, and then we're gonna repeat this 1 more time. Yarn to the back, knit 2, 1, 2, and then we're gonna purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to need our cable needle, slip off those 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to knit 3 off of that left needle, 1, 2, 3. Use our cable needle. 1, 3. Then we have to purl 2. 1, 2. Then we have to knit 2. Actually, we have to knit 5. Just checking. Yep, at the end, knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, before I flip this over, you guys, look at this. Look at this sweater we are making here. How crazy is that? How much do you spend at a store to get a really nice cable sweater? I mean, essentially you can end up making your own sweater if you have more patience than I do and can make bigger projects than this. I can't, so I'm going to settle for a wine sweater. But how perfect is this, you guys? I mean, you can do this in red, in green. You know, I like mix. I like this multicolored one. It spices it up, and then I'm going to put red buttons on it. I mean, how amazing is this? This is going to be, after you get it, it's like so repetitive too, that this is going to end up being a really easy project. I know I say easy now, but it's going to be a nice, easy project in the long run. So you guys, I'm kind of contemplating my life here. It's already an hour and 20 minutes, and I feel like I can stop here because, you know, rows 10 through 14, repeat rows 4 through 8. That's pretty much what we've been doing, you know, for the past hour and 20 minutes. I don't think I need a video to show 10 through 14 or even 15. Let's see here. It is a lot of repetition. Okay. And that would cut down on how long. So an hour and 20 minutes got us to row 10. So if there's 30, we're going to do part like 3 and 4 before we get to the pockets and the bottom. So we're looking at 5 or 6 part videos, which is completely insane. So you guys, what I'm going to do, you can do 10 through 19 through 18 on your own. So that's what I'm going to do, you guys. I am going to do rows 10 through 14, 15, and 16 through 18 off camera. Because if you need to do this, you can just rewind this video, see repeat 4 through 8, rewind this video to where I say row 4. And you'll be fine. I think you guys can do this. I know it's like a beginner for most of you, but I'm confident. These stitches, they're really easy. The only hard ones are the cable stitches, which I think are the funnest things to do because it's nice to see all this weird texture here. And then possibly the yarning over and knit together, but just rewind the video and watch it. So in part 3, I'm going to continue with row 19. So I hope that's okay, you guys. Leave a comment below. And if you really, really, really need me to do rows 10 through 18, I will do that for you. Just leave that in the comments and I'll go back. It might not be the same yarn, because like I said, I'm going to work on this now. Well, maybe not now, maybe tomorrow, because it is late. But if you really need to see that, I can make another one up all the way up to row 9, and I will video rows 10 through 18 for you. Okay? I'm here to try to help you guys out because I love doing stuff like this. I'm so excited. The thumbnail that I used, those are the ones that I created. And again, you can use so many different colors. It's such a fun thing to do. So I'm gonna help you guys get to this, because if you can only have time to do one, you can end up giving that one to a special someone, because these are very special to do. I really like it. At any rate, so thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. I will be posting these next parts. I'm going to try to go consecutive days, but if not, I also do nails. I have my Thursday Worldly Josieisms. I have a live unboxing Friday, so you're going to want to see that, because I also have a giveaway going on. And then I'm gonna do my night at the improv on Saturday. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'll say it again. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.